Welcome back to some more battles. We are in the open Ultra League today, and let's see if we can get some wins with the Cradily paired with the Jelly and the Primeape in the back. So this lead here, unfortunately, is kind of a core breaker. We unfortunately cannot switch because the Primeape would be tanking a lot of super effective fast moves. So we're just going to do our best to try to soft lose, and there goes our Cradily. We force out the switch and we get the matchup we actually want. So they're just going to spam body slams here, which is okay. We can survive the body slams. In fact, we want this Primeape relatively low health. And then we're going to build up to back-to-back close combat. Down goes Licky Licky. And now we're going to have energy for a Rage Fist into the Jirachi. And now we're going to have an okay matchup. We are resisting their fast move pressure, but not the charge moves. We're going to let the first one go. Night Slash is going to get the boost. And that is horrible timing. We are going to get the shield. And we have to shield everything here at this point. The only hope is we might be able to outpace them. We got a shield here. And that is the opening we actually need, because this gives us additional farm. They go for Doom Desire, which is going to be chip damage, but it's not enough for the KO. We are going to get to this Surf, get the shield, and now we're going to get to another Surf to take out the Pangoro. So GG Star Planet able to win that game with our Jelly and with a huge core breaker of Jirachi, but luckily we were able to overfarm and take out the backline. Cradily into the Florist. Here we're doing super effective fast move pressure. They are going to reveal a Disarming Voice. So most likely they're running Disarming Voice in Chilling Water. So we get the debuff, and at this point we don't have to shield anything. Another Disarming Voice, and we get to switch out into the Greninja, I believe. And they decide to tank the damage. That's going to allow us to farm it down with our Primeape and come out with a little bit of energy advantage, and down goes their team. So GG Sharp on it, able to win that game with the combination of Cradily and Primeape. Next, we got, not the best lead, but we have a couple of answers. So we're going to swap out into the Primeape, and we get met with a Giratina. The Giratina here is running the Shadow Claw version. So they are going to be able to reach this move quite quickly. They decided to go for the Shadow Sneak. Interesting. Because it doesn't KO, we get to another Rage Fist and we end up getting the shield. So job well done by the Primeape. And they continue throwing Shadow Snakes. Okay. At this point, we are thinking about farming down. Let's see how much damage. Okay, we are able to tank the damage and we get the full farm down. That is quite the farm down, because now we have this Grass Knot not only to deal neutral damage, but it gets them in range of a Shadow Ball. They decided to swap out into their Ampharos, and we're going to full send a Shadow Ball here. They tank the move, and that is the damage we actually need. So now we get to a Surf, and they get to use their last shield. Trailblaze is going to get used here, and at this point we are going to just save the shield and energy for this Empoleon. So we don't quite get the KO, but we're looking for a farm down. We do get the farm down, and it is perfectly one away from a move which allows us to win this game. So GG Star Planet able to win that game off of a horrible lead, and basically the Primeape set up our backline for success. Next, we're going to have Cradily into the Gyarados. Okay, at least we're going to be able to do neutral damage across the board, maybe even super effective if we go for the Rock Tomb. We tank this first move. It's only going to be the Aqua Tail. And now we are going to probably get some shields. There's the first shield. Now they're debuffed. They go for the Crunch now, and they actually get the debuff. So interesting sequence there. Another Rock Tomb easily takes them out, and now we're going to swap out when they reveal Sand Slash. But we get met with a Clefable in the back, so we're going to shield up first and hope that we can outpace them to these moves. They did throw Meteor Mash, which tells us We are going to be able to outpace them, most likely not running Swift, and we're just going to let this go. But unfortunately, that's going to be enough to take us out. We are just going to try to over farm here because they are basically throwing resistant move or a neutral move. So we decided to shield, and now we have a ton of energy to throw at the Sand Slash, which is running Powder Snows. We are going to be able to resist their fast move pressure, and we just have to tank these Druruns, and it looks like we are going to be able to tank at least 2. They finally used their last shield, and we are definitely going to survive that Drurun. We force out the switch. They go to the Clefairy. We're just going to throw the Surf immediately, take them out, and we are going to be able to win that back line. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game with Jelly. Just over farming and getting a ton of energy. And luckily, the Sandslash was not running Shadow Claw. Horrible lead here, but our opponent swaps out. Are they running Bubble? Interesting swap there. So we are actually just going to stay in for now, throw this rock to them. They decided to tank the move. Okay. And now we are definitely going to survive this. So we're just going to get to another move, and let's see what they end up doing here. This Rock Tomb does go through, and we are able to get the alignment. Okay, so they were running the Fighting Fast move, and our opponent here is going to throw resisted energy into the Jelly. And okay, so that makes sense. They're running AVB team trying to fish out maybe a Mud Slapper, but as you can see, it was not going to be the case. And now we have an interesting situation. We try to get the a shield. Okay, there it is. Finally get a shield. We are going to let this go because we have a ton of energy on our Jelly, and we force them to throw a lot of energy. There goes the last shield. Our opponent does a great job catching this Surf. It's resisted damage, but it's still going to come in handy because I believe they only have resisted charge moves at this point. And we're going to go for this Shadow Ball. Doesn't quite kill because of the debuff. However, we're going to try to over farm because we need energy for that Skunk Tank. There's the Skunk Tank again, but unfortunately for that, we have so much energy. One Surf is going to take him out, and now we have enough energy to throw another Shadow Ball into the Poly. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game with the Jelly at the end. Check out the team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.